Hi, what's the probability of the U.S. Embassy requiring some sort of letter of consent from the father of a K2? I was told by one of your reps that historically the embassy would ask for something for a single mom applying for K1. Is this true? The short answer is yes, it's true, and there is a concern, obviously, and you can, if you think about it, you can really understand why they do it. You wouldn't want a case where perhaps there's a father of a child who is involved in that child's life and everything else, and all of a sudden, he goes to visit the child and the child's gone, and he finds out the child's immigrated to America. So, to avoid those types of situations, it is expected that you have the clearance or authorization from that spouse's other parent. Now, it varies by country, and you did mention the Philippines. In the Philippines, historically, they do want something if the father's name's on the birth certificate. Now, if there's no father named on the birth certificate, you probably don't need anything. But usually there is, and when there is, they're going to want something, and that sometimes is a difficult situation. We've seen this exact situation hundreds of times. I mean, I'm sure we get this call once a week at least, because it's quite common. And so it can be done. It can be fixed. You're not going to get away with saying we couldn't find him. There are really some steps they want you to go through, like run an ad in the paper and get some affidavits from anybody the parents or somebody of this person, to say that you made a realistic attempt. So you do have to make some attempt. What you're not going to get away with is trying to avoid mentioning it to this father of the child because you think he'll object. That's not going to work. You're going to have to face up to this situation, and worst case scenario, if the parent is completely uninvolved in the child's life, hasn't seen them in years and so on, they're just not involved, they're not paying support, they're basically gone completely out of the picture, then you'll definitely get it done. Now, if you've got an involved parent who's seeing the child on a regular basis, who's providing some type of financial support, like helping pay for their school or clothes or whatever, you don't really have child support in the Philippines. But if it's that situation, then you might have a fight on your hands. You can still get it done eventually, but you may end up having to retain a lawyer there locally to get through the process. What I wouldn't do is don't ignore it. Get something. Try to appeal to the better side of this parent to say, hey, look, the child's going to go to America and have a better life. We just need you to acknowledge you understand this and so on. And, you can always tell them, hey, look, this child will be a citizen eventually. And when they're 21 years old, they can bring you to America. Maybe that'd be enough to convince them if you're getting pushback, because that is, in fact, how it works. Any U.S. citizen age 21 can always petition their parent. So this child could petition that parent eventually. So that's one, kind of tactic that has worked when you've got a reluctant father. Unfortunately, to go then to the worst case scenario, we have seen cases where an outright bribe was requested. The father's not involved, hasn't been involved, but all of a sudden they see you going on to a better life and they want a piece of the action, and you got to throw them a little money, and maybe it's worth it. I mean, that's for you to decide, but we have seen that be successful too. So good luck with that. But yeah, you don't want to show up with nothing. If the father's named on his birth certificate, he does have certain rights, and that's as it should be. And so you'll have to deal with that.
If you found this video useful, it would mean a lot to us if you could hit the like button and comment below to let us know what you think. You can also ask your own immigration questions in the comments below. If you want to make sure not to miss any of our future videos, we invite you to subscribe here on YouTube, and be sure to click the notification icon so you can be alerted whenever we publish a new video. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, where you can watch our regular immigration Q&A live streams.